Guscott and Scott Hastings coming in at the centre. Rob Andrew takes over at fly half, and the Englishmen Wade Dooley and Mike Teague came into the forwards. 30-12 they lost the first one. Highlights now of this second test with Andrew Slack and Nigel Starmer-Smith.
8 Englishmen, 4 Scots, 3 Welshmen, not an Irishman, for the first time in Lions Test history, as Lionel is thorn in the flesh of the Lions in the first test bouts at match, and Robert Jones.
Australian backs did it so well last week. The British Lions didn't. They forgot about the advantage line. They crabbed a bit across field. I think Craig Chalmers took 2 or 3 paces too many from fly half. We've now got Rob Andrew in, and that's what the British Lions backs need to do. Get forward, as Dominic Maguire did then. Of course, maintain possession, which he didn't. But Australia have the pudding.
Nick Farr-Jones, who was in some doubt for this test. He had a bad cold earlier in the week, possibly a bit of ankle trouble, and 2 scrum halves at each other, the 2 Jones, Farr-Jones and Robert Jones. That shows just how these players are psyched up, and this has broken into total free-for-all, which is the last thing we wish to see, and yet at times one sensed there was going to be something of a physical confrontation stemming from the 2 halfbacks. And referee René Orke trying still to separate them at each other on the floor in the style of the Rocky film series. So Australia's captain and the British are... Ian Evans is back there. Gavin Hastings waits for it. It's bounced loose, and the Wallabies are there in strength and numbers. Links out from Farr-Jones to Liner. Greg Martin goes for a try, and the corner claims it. Greg Martin, 2 tests, 2 tries. So with 17 minutes gone, Liner then bidding to make it over 400 points in Test rugby. Oh, it's beautifully struck. That is perfection to notch up the 4th century of points. Dean Richards will give everything, leading that wedge, and the drive is good. It's back, Andrew. Scott Hastings is held still within the 22. Once again, Richards drives on. Robert Jones. Andrew, Guscott. Chips through. Evans chasing hard. Campese. So he missed his earlier chance. This is about the same distance out, but on the opposite side. So he should be able to pull it round with the right foot from the left-hand side. Can he get this one? And he has. The Union Jacks of the supporters in the far stand, and Torres is going aloft as first points in the match for... And Liner now with 401 international points. Spot on target. And again, the lesson, if it needs to be spelled out, is you cannot concede penalty goal chances to the front. Certainly better competitive results in the line-out. Andrew, Scott Hastings. Campese had read that one, but it's travelled superbly from Hastings deep into the 22. Campese looks to make a bit more room for himself, but overdoes it. Charged down by Hastings. Back goes Williams, and Williams is in a lot of bother. It's loose over the line. The bounce doesn't favour the Lions. Campese covers, puts in the desperate clearance kick, and makes it. But I think the referee may have adjudged, what, a knock-on before Campese's clearance?
Yes, I think the ball's come forward when Ian Williams has been confronted by the Lions' defence. Campese, as we were just saying before, he does give you the odd hard flutter. Tried to get around Evans, which he did successfully, but put too much pressure on himself. Lions in a good spot.
So the pressure's on Australia. And the most concerted pressure that we've seen thus far in the series. And of course, on your lucky day, the bounce would have favoured the Lions and it would have been a score, but Australia, for once, looking shaky in defence. Robert Jones, Rob Andrew looks for 3 points off the drop goal. No problem. So again, Lions pressure turns into points, and then there's an extra spring in the heel as I look down on the Lions pack, because at last I think they've sensed that Australia are vulnerable and are not invincible. That's good driving. The support he needs is there now. And several players lying injured at the moment, and Guscott is rather short of support. Opts to do the sensible thing, but it's too strong. And is it Robert Jones as well? As the half-time whistle goes, the Lions have certainly fought their way back into contention in this second test, and at half-time, whereas a week ago it was 15-6, they now trail by just Wade Dooley. That's a tremendous wedge, and this is more like it from the Lions. Rob Andrew tries the drop goal. Well, the sort of kick you'd expect by Brian Moore. Good drive from Sol. Stands firm, looks for support and gets it. Teague is there again. Now it's Calder. That's good play. Rob Andrew. Oh, beautiful kick. That's out of the textbook. And wonderful support play and driving, running by the Lions back. We've played about 16 minutes of the second half. It's 9-6 to Australia. But it's a penalty to Australia now. Final with a penalty and conversion. Now trying to re-establish a 6-point lead in the shadow of the main stand. Well, inch perfect again. And once more, that momentary lapse of discipline. And that's setting up a good attacking position. Can they make something of this? This is Guscott. Guscott showing his legs. The support is there from Scott Hastings. Hastings looks for support. The pick up by Underwood, unlucky, and Farr Jones was there to cover and intercept. Maybe that'll lift them. Maybe that'll show the Lions you can run through these people.
That's sensational attack, and Guscott's had a good game. Looking for support, gets inside, and there's Hastings takes it. And Nick Farr Jones is outstanding in his support. That's beautifully taken by Underwood, but who's there? Nick Farr Jones, as he ever is.
Play carries on. Hastings is back in contention. The Lions drive. Perhaps that burst of activity will have lifted them again. Pressure on Martin. Hasn't made his touch, or has he? No. Ieuan Evans drops it deep in the 22. His player's onside. That's Dean Richards. Turns, makes it available as he does so well. T tries to bury himself underneath. It's out now. Rob Andrew. Through to Scott Hastings. Gavin missed out. Straight to Rory Underwood. Underwood goes for the corner. Beats the tackle. Has he got support? He's almost on the line. The ball's loose, but it went forward. No try for Gavin Hastings. But again, the pressure's on Australia. The Lions surely must be growing in confidence now. They know they can pierce this defence, and how close they came to it.
Yes, but Australia still had the numbers. It was still one-on-one. And desperate defence from Ian Williams, but it worked. But the pressure now from the British Lions scrum.
On the Australian line. Australia have the put-in, of course. It's 12-6 to Australia. We're within, 16 minutes of the final whistle. Pressure on Farr Jones as T comes through, but a penalty's been given. No try. Well, is there not a call for advantage here?
He's obviously thought that Teague's knocked it on. I don't believe he has. I think the ball went forward from Nick Farr Jones. I thought that was a fair try.
It didn't look like...
And if anybody deserved a try, it was Michael Teague, but...
well...
Hawkeye was right on the spot. He obviously just felt that Teague was the one who initiated the knock-on, but I think if he had the advantage of a replay.
So it's the tap penalty to Dean Richards, Finlay Calder. They come again. Robert Jones, Rob Andrew, Guscott, Ieuan Evans tries to go inside. Campese is held high and loose to Lloyd Walker. So maybe 3 points to come back here. 12-6 it stands. Australia lead with a quarter of an hour to go. And 2 opportunities in a row, so nearly producing Lions scores. Rob Andrew. It's a good kick. It's 12-9. It's still in the melting pot. We've about 13 minutes to go. Rob Andrew. Now a chance with Hastings. Gavin, the fullback, trying to stretch. Rob Underwood, can he make it available? He has. He has. It's Scott Hastings. Scott Hastings against the covering Campese. 5 metres from the line. In dives Robert Jones, and out the ball comes just in time by Greg Martin, but still they're there. And the Lions are not beaten.
To the Lions, which they took advantage of down the short side, now in a great position.
With 8 minutes to go, can they make something from this line-out? Moore with the throw. Dooley poised in the middle. It's Ackford at the front. Scott Gourley reaches and gets. Still anyone's ball. Jones has it. Rob Andrew, the mismove straight to Guscott. Back inside. Rory Underwood on the burst. Good cover tackling coming in. That was from Liner himself. And they've managed to stem the tide.
It's Underwood
rolling over after the tackle. Not released. Through the pack. Rolling round again. It's Teague, one-handed, beautifully fed. Robert Jones cutting inside is Underwood. Good tackle by Gourley, but Moore's there in support. They're 10 metres out. It's Finlay Calder shunting it out to Rob Andrew. There must be a man over here, surely. The pass is loose and bouncing, but Gavin Hastings picks up and hands off the man for the try. Gavin Hastings is through. Took it on the bounce. It looked as though the chance had gone begging and was lost, but they've taken the lead with less than 5 minutes to go. And the British Isles lead Australia with that vital score of 13 points to 12. We'll watch it come now. There was the dummy pass by Robert Jones. The switch inside was by Underwood. Looked as though he might have got stuck, but he did well to release it. And how well Moore is supported here by the phalanx of Lions forwards. And then it's Finlay Calder with the opportune pass. And here's the one that was, well, it was lateral, it didn't go forward. The bounce favoured the British Isles for once. A lovely handoff by the powerful Scotsman, and over for the score. The first try in the series for the British Isles, and one that gives them the lead. 13 points to 12. 4 minutes to go. Rob Andrew with the conversion. It's a great kick, but it's just gone to the left of the uprights. It's been a brave comeback, this has.
It has. Well, it's taken them 156 minutes to score a try, but what a crucial one is Scott Hastings looks after his brother, throws in the long pass, and Gavin Hastings gives David Campese the big palm off, and Hastings hasn't had a great series so far, but that all makes up for it.
So they've 3 minutes and a little injury time to go, and they've fought their way back. They've not conceded at any point. And this is, well, the word is Calon in Welsh, it's character in English. And this has been a splendid comeback from the depths of despair of 30 points to 12. But as I said at the start, there was a belief throughout this week, since that test match, that the Lions, far from doing themselves justice, could certainly play a far better game of rugby than we saw in Sydney. And they've proved just that. 13-12 it stands to the British Isles, ahead for the first time. Campese under pressure. Ieuan Evans is in there. Lovely pop-up from Rob Andrew to Finlay Calder, the captain. Didn't see any immediate support and carries on himself within 5 metres. Possession's coming again. Brian Moore, Rob Andrew, Guscott, little chip and chase. It's beautifully placed. Guscott's there. Guscott, what a try. That must seal it. A brilliant moment of individual skill. And the young Bath lad is over the moon. Jeremy Guscott can't believe it, and the Lions surely now are home and dry because the conversion's in front of the posts. And this man, after one international cap, has now surely set the seal on a famous victory. Guscott with the brave little kick, the bounce was his, and he was in.
Well, outstanding play from Guscott. He's played like a seasoned veteran today. The pressure was on, the defence was there. The only way to go was along the ground. He did it, he followed, he showed pace, he showed composure, and he's given Lions what is a definite win. There's a 7-point break as Rob Andrew kicks, well-deserved. Character and pressure finally came. They weren't impatient, that's the key. It took them a long time, but they knew they had the capacity to do it. They've done it.
Well, the hundreds of supporters who've come out here long for this moment. They despaired it would happen. The team may perhaps never have given up hope despite what happened. And now, within the space of a couple of minutes, 2 tries to seal what must surely be victory as we come to the end of 40 minutes.